What if everything you know was a lie? What if your life, your emotions, your memories were just data? This isn't science fiction. The fabric of reality, so solid, so dependable. Could it be an illusion, a grand construct? More and more scientists, philosophers, and yes, even whistleblowers, are stepping forward, their voices adding to a growing chorus that suggests something truly chilling. We might be living inside a simulation. Think about it. A universe meticulously crafted, governed by rules so precise they resemble programming. The implications are staggering, forcing us to reevaluate not just our place in the cosmos, but the very essence of what it means to be. And today, I, Peter Cianfoli, will be your guide on this unsettling exploration. We'll delve into 5 terrifying clues, pieces of a puzzle that, when assembled, might just shatter your perception of reality forever. Prepare yourselves, because the rabbit hole goes deeper than you can possibly imagine. What if the world around you, the life you lead, is not the base reality but an incredibly sophisticated echo? Have you ever witnessed something inexplicable? A moment where the world didn't quite behave as it should? Perhaps you've seen footage of an airplane seemingly suspended motionless in the sky, or a bird, mid-flight, frozen as if time itself hiccuped. These aren't just fanciful stories, they are increasingly documented, shared across the digital ether, sparking bewilderment and debate. What are we to make of these apparent fractures in the seamless continuity of our existence? Then there are the more unsettling accounts, often captured on camera, of individuals appearing as if from nowhere, materializing in a frame where they weren't a split second before. These visual anomalies, these glitches, are becoming harder to dismiss as mere tricks of light or simple camera malfunctions. The sheer volume and peculiar nature of these events compel us to ask a more profound question about the stability and integrity of our perceived reality. Could it be that reality itself is lagging, that the program is momentarily struggling to keep up, revealing fleeting imperfections in the grand illusion? Let's shift our gaze from the apparent errors in the system to the system itself, to the very architecture of existence. Everywhere we look in the universe, from the grandest cosmic structures to the most infinitesimal particles, we find an astonishing and persistent numerical order. Consider the prime numbers, those indivisible integers that form the building blocks of all other numbers. They appear in unexpected places, their distribution a mystery that mathematicians still unravel. This mathematical elegance isn't confined to abstract concepts. It's woven into the very fabric of life in the cosmos. Observe the double helix of human DNA, a complex code carrying the blueprint for life, structured with a precision that astounds molecular biologists. Look to the heavens, and you'll see galaxies spiraling outwards in patterns described by logarithmic sequences. And here on Earth, the Fibonacci sequence manifests in the arrangement of petals in a flower, the chambers of a nautilus shell, the branching of trees. It's as if nature speaks in mathematics. This unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics might be the most profound clue that we are living within a design system. Now let's venture into even more mind-bending territory, a concept emerging from the frontiers of theoretical physics that challenges our very perception of dimensionality, the holographic principle. Esteemed physicists such as Juan Maldacena, through his work on ADS-CFT correspondence, have proposed a startling idea that the entire three-dimensional universe we experience, with all its depth and complexity, might be a projection. A kind of cosmic hologram, with its information encoded on a distant lower-dimensional boundary, likely a two-dimensional surface. Think about what this means. Everything you see, everything you touch, your own body, the stars, the galaxies, all of this rich spatial reality could be an elaborate illusion projected from a fundamentally flatter reality. It's akin to watching a three-dimensional movie. You perceive depth, objects appear to have volume and occupy space, but the information generating that experience is stored on a two-dimensional screen. The holographic principle suggests our universe operates on a similar, albeit vastly more sophisticated scale. The screen in this case might be the edge of the observable universe or some other cosmological horizon. This concept finds an uncanny parallel in the digital worlds we ourselves create. Consider any advanced video game. You navigate a seemingly vast three-dimensional environment. Yet, all of that immersive three-dimensional experience is generated from lines of code, from data stored on a two-dimensional microchip or a hard drive. Could our universe be the ultimate video game? Let's delve into the quantum realm, a domain where the familiar rules of classical physics break down, replaced by a reality that is probabilistic, bizarre, and deeply challenging to our intuition. And within this realm lies one of the most compelling and frankly unnerving pieces of evidence for simulation theory, the famous double-slit experiment. This experiment, simple in its setup but profound in its implications, has baffled and intrigued physicists for over a century, and it strikes at the very heart of what we consider real. Imagine firing particles, say electrons one by one, towards a barrier with two narrow slits. If these electrons were like tiny billiard balls, we'd expect to see two distinct bands on a detector screen behind the barrier corresponding to the particles passing through one slit or the other. But under other conditions, the electrons behave like waves, passing through slits simultaneously and creating an interference pattern on the screen, a series of multiple bands, characteristic of wave behavior. The act of observing which slit the electron goes through fundamentally changes the outcome. If you set up a detector to determine which path each electron takes, the interference pattern vanishes. The electrons revert to behaving like particles, creating only two bands. It's as if the very act of measurement, of knowing, forces the quantum system to choose a definite state. The universe, at this fundamental level, seems to respond to whether or not it's being watched. Consider the words of entrepreneur and innovator Elon Musk, a man who routinely pushes the boundaries of technology. He once famously stated that the chances we are living in a computer simulation are 1 in billions. This isn't just a casual remark, it's a sentiment echoed by a growing number of thinkers who look at the trajectory of our own technological advancement and extrapolate it to its logical and perhaps terrifying conclusion. If we are on the cusp of creating convincing simulated realities, what's to say a more advanced civilization hasn't already done so, with us as its inhabitants? Look around at the world of artificial intelligence today. AI is no longer the stuff of science fiction. It's a rapidly evolving reality. We have AI that can generate photorealistic images and videos of people who don't exist, compose music that rivals human composers, write coherent text, and create increasingly complex and immersive virtual worlds. We are in essence learning to play God, to craft realities from scratch. How long will it be before we can build a simulated world indistinguishable from our own, populated by AI entities with their own apparent consciousness? If simulations are possible, then statistically, there are likely to be far more simulated universes than base realities. So we've journeyed through these 5 unsettling clues: the glitches in our daily perception, the mathematical precision of the cosmos, the holographic nature of space-time, the quantum observer effect, and the looming possibility of digital creators. Each one, a breadcrumb leading us down a path that questions the very foundation of what we call real. Maybe you're real in the way you've always believed. Maybe your thoughts are your own, your choices truly free. Or maybe, just maybe, you're an intricate pattern of information, a conscious entity experiencing a meticulously crafted world. The evidence, while not definitive, is certainly provocative, compelling us to look at our existence with a newfound sense of wonder and perhaps a touch of existential dread. The universe is under no obligation to make sense to us, and its true nature might be far stranger than we can currently conceive. But the question, the ultimate question remains, echoing in the digital silence: who wrote the code of your world?